Was out cruising the Mustang, saw that it was leaking some oil, so let's do some digging.
The bolt on the front of the front pulley is loose.
Looks like the front pulley has been grinding up on the steering rack. So it looks like I'm gonna need to replace the front main seal and also the harmonic balancer, which is the front pulley as well. A little about this car. This is a 68 Mustang that my family and I have been rebuilding for the last 20 years. It sits on top of a C5 Corvette chassis and it has an LS1 V8. You ask why we put a Chevy motor in a Ford? Because America, that's why. I'm removing the steering rack here so I can take off the main pulley, and it is not as easy as it looks. Well, I got it out. So you can see what the issue was. The harmonic balancer was walking forward. It's supposed to be flush. So now it's time to take the balancer off. I had to get a special balancer puller for the LS1 from Summit. So the balancer's off. This is my new one from Summit. All right, I inserted the front main seal. That's the black ring, so that'll fix the oil leak. There's a little hole there on the crankshaft. It's for a Woodruff key. This is the old harmonic balancer. It didn't have a slot for that. I guess we just put it on. And the issue is that this does have a slot. So I went to summitracing.com and I got the correct Woodruff key for our stroker crankshaft and I put it on. This is the harmonic balancer install kit. One step that I didn't show here was that I took the harmonic balancer and I heated it up in the oven at 250 degrees for 15 minutes so that it would expand and get on the crank easier. This is the balancer main bolt. Got my torque wrench here. Right now I got it set it to 180 foot-pounds. I'm going to put a cheater bar on it and we're going to torque the front pulley to 180 foot-pounds and then to 235 foot-pounds for the final pass. I realized that 180 foot-pounds was enough to turn the motor over, so I had to find a way to lock the flywheel. So I removed the starter motor so I can access the flywheel and add my special tool. So this is the flywheel stop tool. I'm going to link onto that. This will lock the flywheel while I torque down the main pulley bolt. The torque wrench is at 235 foot-pounds. Insane. Alright, the new balancer pulley is in, and now it's time to put everything else back on. So my steering rack doesn't want to fit back into place because of the new rubber bushing. So I rigged a ratchet strap to pull it into place. I gotta get the steering column reattached. I'm gonna have to loosen up the steering column to make room for this thing. So I just pulled the steering wheel all the way back. So now I should be able to get the steering column to attach to the steering rack right here. Next I'm retightening the steering rack and torquing it to 81 foot-pounds. Then I reattach the tie rods on both sides. So now I gotta tighten up the cradle suspension mount bolts. I got my torque wrench and I've got this interesting crow hook. I'm cranking these cradle mount bolts up to 81 foot-pounds. All right, she's up and running. It's gonna be a fun summer.